let me rephrase, if I might. The way it has been characterized in, for example, the response of the state, and I believe in your affidavit, is there's a difference between a personal relationship and a professional relationship, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not talking about a professional relationship. I'm talking about a personal relationship. Have you had a personal relationship at all, and you know what I mean by that, after the summer of 2023?
Are you asking me if I had intercourse with the district attorney?
I was trying not to, but I guess if you're going to characterize it as that, the answer would be?
The answer would be no.
So it's been purely professional since the summer of 2023.
So that's where we're having issues.
Okay, you'll have to explain, because I don't know what the issue would be.
No, I will explain to you.
Thank you.
You say personal. We're very good friends, probably closer than ever because of these attacks. But if you're asking me about specific intercourse, the answer is no.
How about if I change it from intercourse to romantic?
No.
Welcome, everybody. Let me know if you guys can see me right now. I just, I'm trying to see if we are actually live. I apologize. Let me know in the comments if you can actually see me. Okay, we are. Okay, we are. Sorry about that. Okay, so welcome, everybody. I just couldn't see, for some reason, I couldn't see the actual live feed, but I can see it now. I can see comments coming in. Welcome, everybody. So today we're going to be sharing with you. Yesterday we released a video. Jim Jordan and the House Judiciary Committee subpoenaed Nathan American Pie Wade, and then Fani Willis, Cash Money G, absolutely lost her mind. She went crazy. And she wrote a detailed, vitriolic, violent, almost aggressive letter to Jim Jordan saying, hey, don't you dare try to step on our toes. We have so much to hide. We are doing so many criminal prosecutorial misconduct things that we don't want you to know anything. So guess what? I've instructed Nathan Wade to not say anything. Well, today I've got the actual official opening statement of Nathan American Pie Wade. I'm going to share that with you in just a second. And I've also got a response from the pit bull, Sadow, Steve Sadow, who is Trump's attorney, as well as a response from another attorney that we have become good friends in the lawyer streaming space and content creation space, Phil Holloway. I know a lot of you guys know who that is. I'm actually going to send him a message and see if he wants to pop in a little later. So stick around for that. But first, let's take a look. So what you just saw right there, let me talk about this first, because what you just saw right there, okay, was essentially you just saw Nathan American Pie Wade. This was back during the Fani Willis disqualification hearing, where he essentially said there was no physical relationship. This debacle, this saga has been going on for God knows how long, almost as long as the debauched YSL RICO case, the Young Thug trial that is happening as we speak, the longest case in Fulton County history. So I have right here, I'm going to share this really fast. So what I have right here is I have the actual statement, and I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually share this instead. So I have the actual official statement of Nathan American Pie Wade. Hey, let me know where you guys are joining me from. Can you guys actually see me and hear me? I still can't see. This is kind of how it is. When you go live, you just never know what's going to happen. Hold on a second. Let me just double check. I'm still not seeing anybody. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, it says I'm live, but for some reason I cannot see the chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I might have to just kind of restart this or something. Okay, cool. Okay, I can see. Yes, Los Angeles in the house. Okay, thank you so much. For some reason, I usually have my live stream audience meter right here, and it's not right now. It doesn't say anybody is here, so probably just a glitch on my part. Okay, sorry about that. So we are going to go through Nathan Wade's official statement. Then I'm going to share with you Jim Jordan's response to Fani Willis, response to the letter that she sent, where she said, hey, you can't talk to my boy, Nathan Wade. I've instructed him to not talk to you, to not share anything with you. I'm going to share with you that, a couple of clips, especially one interview he did with Greta Van Susteren. And then I'm also going to share with you a response from the Pitbull, Steve Sadow, Trump's attorney, and a response from another expert attorney that a lot of you guys already know. So let's get into it. Buckle up. Get your favorite beverage. Get your favorite drink. Get your favorite snack. If you're having lunch, fantastic. Here we go. I'm going to jump right into it. This is Nathan Wade's official statement that he released just recently, okay? And I'm going to get right into it right now. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can actually make this a little bit. Okay. All right. Here we go. Good morning. My name is Nathan Wade. I am a licensed attorney in good standing in the state of Georgia. So this is his kind of official statement that he actually read at the deposition yesterday. I'm here after voluntarily accepting service of a subpoena from the House of Representatives of Congress of the United States of America, which was basically spearheaded by Jim Jordan, Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio. We all love Jim Jordan. You know Jim Jordan. I am here of my own volition, having paid for my own flight tickets and hotel room. God forbid. How much money have you stolen from Fulton County residents? How much money have you allocated towards your vacations that you took your lover, Fani, to Aruba, Jamaica? Ooh, I'm gonna make ya. Now all of a sudden, he's making a big deal of having to actually pay something out of his own pocket. God forbid that would happen. You've already stole millions of dollars from Fulton County residents, for crying out loud. Why would you even start with that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Why would you even start with that? Why would that be your starting point? Please note, he also paid for a hotel room in an effort to respond to any legal relevant inquiries. Please note, all arrangements were made per agreement for my voluntary testimony to take place back in July, but this committee changed that date for its convenience. That's always a good way to start your deposition, is to attack the people who are just literally trying to say, by the way, just to give you full context, the whole point of this is because these two criminals, and I call them criminals, Fani Cash Money G. Willis, Nathan American Pie Wade, lied under oath, committed perjury, misallocated forfeiture funds, and racketeered, essentially embezzled tax funds to their own benefit and their own personal use. We had Amanda Timpson on, who was a whistleblower in that office. She shared everything. I highly recommend you go check out that interview. But this is a waste of taxpayer dollars right here. This entire deposition, the energy and efforts of the elected officials like Jim Jordan and the rest of the committee, this is a waste of money. And he has the audacity to say, I've spent my own money getting a hotel room. Are you kidding me right now? You are aware I served as Special Assistant District Attorney in the case of State of Georgia versus Donald Trump, indictment number 23 SC 1889-47, Fulton County Superior Court, Georgia. Prior to accepting the appointment as a Special Assistant District Attorney for the office of the District Attorney of Fulton County, I served as a prosecutor. Excuse me, I apologize. I was trying to mute myself. I blew it. I couldn't mute myself. Sorry you had to hear that. For the Office of District Attorney of Fulton County. I served as a prosecutor several times during my career, first as an assistant solicitor general in Cobb County, Georgia. Then, of course, Cobb County, Georgia. If you don't recall, Cobb County, Georgia is where Judge Peterson attacked Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. What is going on with you guys? Somebody tell me why every single entity, agency, department, bureaucracy in your entire state is a flaming, hot, corrupt mess. Cobb County is when Judge Peterson attacked. I had body cam footage. Judge Peterson attacked an officer and then was recused and basically thrown out of the Georgia bar, essentially fired. Also, Fani Willis's daughter was caught, pulled over by police. I showed you footage of that in the last video where, and that was in nearby county where she she had a suspended license. And then who showed up? Who showed up to save her? Cash Money G and her lover boy, Nathan American Pie Wade. I began my private practice in 2000 where I served as a criminal defense attorney representing hundreds of individuals in state and federal courts charged with felony and misdemeanor offenses. I have tried many felony cases representing clients in serious matters, including but not limited to capital offense, murder, rape, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and drug trafficking. Many of these cases garnered media attention, much to the credit and pushing forward of high-profile cases by your girl, your lover, Cash Money G. I have served as a civil attorney in private practice, representing individuals, business, and corporations alike with no attention given to partisan politics. I have previously been retained to represent a Republican sheriff. I served as legal counsel to the Cobb County branch of the NAACP. In 2010, I began serving as a municipal court judge in several cities in the state of Georgia and was proud to have become the first African American to do so in the city of Marietta, Georgia. I was invited. Why do we need to know all this crap? I was invited to assist in the training of all we want to know is what happened when you guys funneled taxpayer funds to go on vacation together, and why did you lie under oath? What are you doing with the federal grant money that hard-working taxpayers are funding your sham DA office and your sham criminal enterprise? I was invited to assist in the training of newly appointed municipal court judges and did so with great pleasure. I have received dozens of accolades. I mean, this guy's just like showing off. I don't even understand it. I've received dozens of accolades and statewide recognitions over the course of my legal career. And then here's page 2. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. My team and I investigated the issues. Okay, here we go. My team and I investigated the issues in the election interference case for more than 2 years. This case was not politically motivated. Yeah, right. Who believes that? Let me know in the comments. By the way, if you're watching on the replay, give me a capital TR in the comments for Team Replay. I always love to hear it. Also, let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. I love hearing. We have so many amazing people who love our country, love our beautiful Constitution, love our channel, which is based on one mission and one mission alone, to share the truth, everything that the fake woke mafia media won't share with you. Let me know in the comments. I'm so happy to see you guys. This case was not politically motivated. Who are you fooling, man? They think we're stupid, America. Rather, it was an independent investigation based upon facts, interviews, evidence, and the rule of law. I had no mandate other than to honestly seek the truth. Why the exclamation point? You don't have to yell. I was never directed, ordered, asked, coerced, or pressured to bring any charges against anyone. I took my oath as special prosecutor with a solemn pride and responsibility. That's an awkwardly written sentence. This guy can't write. He can't write worth crap. I did not violate that oath and did nothing to compromise the integrity of the Fulton County indictment alleging interference in the 2020 presidential election. No one at the White House counsel's office, the Department of Justice, or the January 6th committee directed, ordered, asked, coerced, or pressured me or any member of my investigative team to seek or not to seek an indictment against anyone. Okay, so we have I need to comment really quickly on this. We have actual evidence, okay? Fani Willis, Nathan Wade met with, the corruptor in chief, the phony in chief, the cackler in chief, Kamala. Quite frankly, probably the worst human being that ever lived. She can't be president. She's going to destroy our country. It's a fact. Watch Professor Nez. He's my favorite YouTube channel. Quite frankly, probably the most honest person out there. Watch Professor Nez. I am Donald Trump. I approve of that message. We have actual proof. Let me know what you think of my Trump impression. I'm really working on it, and I love it. Because I love Trump, and I know you do too. We have actual proof that they met with Kamala Harris. We have actually proof that the timing and date, which was brought up by Ashley Merchant, who's been on our show before, and who we plan on getting back here on our show. Ashley Merchant has receipts. Ashley Merchant went in front of the Georgia Senate Committee and brought proof that Fani Willis met with Kamala Harris, vice president, right before. I mean, like literally, it was moments, if not a couple of hours or days before meeting and launching the indictment against President Trump and all the other defendants. So that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie right there. And why the exclamation point? I don't understand. Why does he use these exclamation points? Aren't you supposed to be a professional? Aren't you an attorney? Aren't you somebody who's got this vast track record and integrity and credibility? I think not. Due to the lack of cooperation from witnesses and government officials, the Fulton County District Attorney requested permission from the Fulton County Superior Judges to impanel a special grand jury to investigate the complaints surrounding the 2020 election. The special purpose grand jury returned an exhaustive report recommending indictments on a host of individuals, many of which were not named in the pending charging document. Following this recommendation, a Fulton County grand jury returned an indictment against all individuals. Several defendants moved to disqualify the DA, that's Cash Money G, and myself from the prosecution of this case. Yeah, because you lied and you guys are a bunch of frauds. The trial court held a hearing during which I testified and was cross-examined for hours. Oh, for hours. God forbid. Would that take you away from Aruba? By defense lawyers. In March of this year, the motion to disqualify was denied. In its distasteful dicta, the court opined that either I resign, in its distasteful dicta, what a freaking train wreck. The court, and by the way, wait till you hear what Sadow says about that. You're going to love it. Wait, you don't go anywhere. Trust me, you're going to love the reaction. The court opined that either I resign or the district attorney's office resign from the prosecution of the election interference case. Consequently, I voluntarily submitted. Yeah, right. Does anybody actually believe that Nathan American Pie Wade voluntarily resigned? Your ass got kicked to the curb, brother. Are you kidding me? You think Cash Money G is going to resign? You think she's going to recuse herself? That woman loves the spotlight more than she loves herself. And she loves herself a lot. Yeah, right. I voluntarily submitted my resignation. Give me a break. If anybody believes that, tell me why in the comments. Since that date, I have had minimum contact with the office of the DA of Fulton County. That's not true. Wait. Whoa, that's not true. That's not true. Holy mackerel. That is a bold-faced lie. He just lied to Congress. Nathan Wade and Fani Willis just lied to Congress because that is not true at all. I have to do something. I have to share this. Holy mackerel. If you haven't seen this, okay? Oh, that's such a bold-faced lie. This guy's he's actually lying to the court. I mean, he's lying to Congress. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this lie.
Couple hours, probably. Mom, Dad, who with you? Okay.
Nice to meet you.
So,
there's Fanny.
Nice to meet you. What?
So, apparently,
Who's that right there? Can anybody tell me who that is? Who's that right next to Fani Willis coming to the aid of her daughter who got arrested? And I guess she had she had some kind of violation. She was talking on her phone while she was driving. There's a big shock. And she had a suspended license. Just a stalwart of the community as usual. She comes from good stock. So you just said right here that you had minimal contact. You said you had minimum contact at the bottom of that top paragraph. I've had minimum contact with the DA of Fulton County. I don't know. Call me crazy, but this doesn't look like minimum contact. Why are you showing up to help Fani Willis's daughter like you're her daddy? Somebody explain that to me. Does that make sense to anybody? Somebody make that make sense. Because it sure doesn't make sense to me. On May 9th, 2024, I received a letter from the Committee on the Judiciary requesting that I produce 6 categories of documents. I voluntarily complied with that request by producing all documents that I possessed. Oh, but not the documents that Jim Jordan and the Judiciary Committee wanted. He was just like, here's what I got. I got a couple of pieces of paper that don't mean anything. I had nothing responsive to categories of documents relating to notes, memoranda, or communications between the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and any other agency. Hold up. How's that even possible? I don't understand this. So hold on a second. I got to talk to you guys for this. Oh, sorry. You guys probably can't even see that. Okay. At the bottom of that paragraph, he says, I had nothing responsive to categories of documents relating to notes, memoranda, or communications between the Fulton County DA's office and any other agency. Okay. From what we understand, he didn't give anything of import or relevance to anything that the House Judiciary wanted. He was supposed to be the specially hired, specially designated prosecutor hired by Fani Willis using our taxpayer funds, specifically Fulton County residents, almost $1 million, which, may I remind you, has not been done ever in Fulton County history. Never. We've never, ever in the Fulton County's entire history. Look it up yourself. You don't have to take my word for it, even though I've done my due diligence. Never in the history of Fulton County has the district attorney hired and outsourced a quote unquote special prosecutor, never mind the fact of paying them almost $1 million. Do you think Nathan American Pie Wade is worth $1 million? Excuse me, Mr. Wade, have you ever spent any time? I'm going to do the face right here. Here we go. Excuse me, Mr. Wade, have you ever spent any time in a cabin with Fani Willis? Ever? Yeah, ever. Ding, 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 ding. 30 seconds later, never. He had to think about it. He had to think about it for 30 seconds. Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? Is that guy worth $1 million to you? Please, for the love of God, somebody let me know in the comments. Is that guy worth $1 million? $1 million to pay that dude. Holy mackerel, what a waste. I'm telling you, y'all, you don't believe me when I say this. I get a lot of flack. By the way, follow me on X because I post a lot of stuff on X I can't post anywhere else. It's literally the last bastion of free speech in the online ecosystem. So I beg you, if you want the best of the best, subscribe to YouTube, but make sure you follow me on X as well. Here's what I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand at all. So you say you have no relating documents. You're supposed to be the special prosecutor. You're supposed to be working hand in hand. And as we've seen with Fani Willis's record, she doesn't like to really do a lot of work. Where is she in the YSL RICO case? This is the most high profile. It's garnered so much attention. You've got how many God knows defendants. You've got hundreds, if not thousands of witnesses. You've got a team of, deputy DAs that don't know what the hell they're doing. You've gone through 3 judges. You've wasted millions and tens of millions of taxpayer dollars in the Fulton County District. And you're nowhere to be seen in that case. Why? Why? So by that, one could surmise, based on that lack of presence, that if Nathan Wade is the special prosecutor, wouldn't he be globbed with most of the paperwork, most of the communications, most of the work? Wouldn't he be at least clued in on every single aspect of this case against Trump and the other co-defendants? And you're going to sit here and tell Congress and tell Jim Jordan you don't have anything? Somebody make it make sense. Please, somebody make it make sense. There's so many holes in this. It's an insult to Swiss cheese. That's how many holes there are in Nathan American Pie Wade's story. Are you kidding me right now? Okay, the next page. And so what I was going to say was, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from this, but I'm telling you right now, y'all, DEI is the most cancerous contagion that has ever infected our beautiful society. And it has spread its poison far and wide, not just in our criminal justice system, not just in our government, not just in the multitudinous bureaucracies that surround the entities of local, state, and federal agencies, but we're talking higher education. We're talking many facets to the public sector, the private sector. Corporations are implementing DEI ideologies and concepts. It is the most infectious, cancerous, poisonous disease. I'm telling you right now, forget Ebola, forget COVID. It's got nothing on DEI. DEI kills. And you know what the kicker is? Here's the kicker. Guess what? We now have a DEI train wreck who wants to be president of the United States. Yeah, that's right. Cackling, phony, lion-ass dog, LAD Kamala Harris wants to actually get a promotion for being the worst vice president in the history of vice presidents, tasked with one job. One job. She had one measly job: oversee the border. I'm not even going to get into border czar and all that because we know that's a fact. We got the receipts. We got the footage. Biden himself called her a DEI hire. Didn't earn it. Well, Nez, why are you so opposed to DEI? Aren't you a fan of diversity, equity, inclusion? I have no problem with diversity. I have no problem with inclusion. I have no problem with equity as long as it's earned and it's not based on discriminatory criteria such as a random, arbitrary trait or characteristic like the pigment of your skin. DEI is discrimination, period. But I digress. Okay, I apologize. Here we go. This committee's stated purpose in requesting those documents, here's the last page, and in seeking my appearance today, is that the committee is, quote, considering potential legislative reforms establishing clear guidelines outlining the permissible uses of federal grant funds, creating penalties for unlawfully misusing federal grant funds under Title 34 of the United States Code, constructing stringent automatic audit requirements for department grant managers, or modifying eligibility requirements pertaining to grant recipients that misuse federal funds. So he quoted the actual charge. The committee has also, quote, considered legislation broadening the existing statutory right of removal of certain criminal cases from state court. That's a typo probably, from state court to federal court as a remedy against politicized prosecutions by popularly elected state or local prosecutors. I'm here to cooperate. Yeah, right. You remember this guy went missing. They couldn't find him. This guy went AWOL. He was on the lam like a fugitive. Who runs? Who hides? If you got nothing to hide, who opposes transparency? Who is somebody who avoids a subpoena, tries to run away from the law if you're not guilty? Find me one person who has never, ever ran away from the law that was not guilty. Find me one, just one person. He says, I am here to cooperate, and I welcome all legal and relevant inquiries related to your defined scope. Contrary to any fabricated story that I somehow evaded services of process, I just said it. I voluntarily reached out to the U.S. Marshal's Office and suggested a meeting place and time immediately upon being made aware through false inflammatory media reports of Congress's attempts to serve me. So he hasn't said really anything of any note or import in this statement other than just a bunch of gibberish. Now, I want to share with you something. That, and I'm actually going to text him right now and see if he happens to be available. I'm going to send Phil a text here, but I'm going to also share with you what he said. Let me just send him a message. So he actually posted this on X. Again, make sure you follow me on X. And I would love to get your thoughts on this. So this is what he posted on X regarding Nathan Wade's statement. So if you don't know who Phil Holloway is, he's host of Inside the Law. He's also been on Megyn Kelly, Fox News. He's been a practicing attorney in Georgia since 1996, as he says here in this post. And so it says here, I will add this. From my experience practicing law in Georgia since 1996, Special Assistant Attorneys General, quote unquote, which is what Nathan Wade categorized himself as, are not considered, quote, prosecutors, end quote. They are private lawyers contracted to handle certain matters, often civil matters, such as child welfare cases and juvenile court. Our office compiles information quarterly on fees and expenses paid to Special Assistant Attorney Generals, outside counsel retained by the Attorney General's office to perform legal work on behalf of the state. SAAGs are typically retained to handle cases where the Attorney General's office has insufficient staff attorneys to handle the caseload. Cases where it would be inefficient to send staff attorneys to hearings for cases such as child support or deprivation hearings, where cases are heard in all 159 counties. Or in instances that involve a specialized practice area, such as admiralty admiralty law or intellectual property law, in which it is not economical to keep a specialist on staff. This is the key phrase. It is not economical to keep a specialist on staff in that practice area. Information on fees and expenses paid to SAAGs will be updated quarterly as the information becomes available. So, if you look at Phil's statement here, when he says special assistant attorneys general are not considered prosecutors, they are private lawyers contracted to handle certain matters. This kind of implies essentially that there was definitely an odor of mendacity. There was definitely a conflict of interest. And of course, is anybody surprised by this? Cash Money G, is anybody surprised? Cash Money G spent almost, I think it was like 800, I want to be precise, almost $800,000, but it was almost $1 million to hire her lover, Nathan Wade, to specially prosecute, which she then took advantage of and had him and her get paid for vacations by the state of Georgia and the residents of Fulton County, who still haven't sought and received their day in court, waiting eagerly because all the funds, all the resources are tied up in the YSL RICO case, in this sham Trump trial. She took advantage, hired this guy, paid him a salary that the taxpayers paid for, and took advantage and took all the money and went on Aruba, Jamaica, Fani G's going to jail in an orange suit. Bye, Nathan American Pie. I mean, it's just so unbelievably criminal, deceitful, wrong, and a million other things that just absolutely should drive everybody completely bonkers. It's crazy. It's just crazy time. So here's what the Pitbull said. I want to share this with you. Here's what the Pitbull, Steve Sadow, said. I'm going to share this screen right here. He posted this, and this is the Pitbull Sadow. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm going to share this real fast. Okay, here we go. So here's what the GOAT, Steve Sadow, said about the statement that we just read. And by the way, Mr. Sadow is going to be on our show after the appeal by the panel of judges for the Fani Willis disqualification trial, after the oral arguments are heard in December. And let me tell you something, guys. If that proceeding is televised, you better sign up today. Subscribe, sign up for our free newsletter in the description, show notes, and pinned comment. I am telling you right now, you are not going to want to miss that, because your boy Nez is going to go live. We will cover everything in depth. You don't need to go anywhere else. Sadow says the opening statement of Wade, Willis's former lover, I love how he threw that in there, to Congress, which we just read, characterized the trials court's finding of an odor of mendacity. Remember the odor of mendacity, which is the language that Judge McAfee put in his ruling saying, hey, it's either got to be you or Fani. One of you guys have to leave. But I'm saying there's enough odor of mendacity, essentially mean there's enough stank on this entire debacle that, he left enough language in there. He did everything by the book, McAfee. That's why I call him Pussycat McAfee. He left enough language in there so that the appellate courts will accept an appeal. I think he did that on purpose. He's smarter maybe than the average bear. Let me just read it one more time. The opening statement of Wade, Willis's former lover, to Congress characterized the trial's court finding of an odor of mendacity relating to their disqualification hearing testimony as, quote, distasteful dicta. So remember that phrase. I said, hold on to that phrase, distasteful dicta, which is what, I know it sounds weird, but essentially it's just legalese for saying this is a ridiculous claim. And then look at what Steve says, the pit bull. Reality check, lying to a court is indeed distasteful and criminal. Remember, guys, I think many other far more accomplished legal experts and legal specialists, including a lot of people would call him one of the best attorneys in the land, Alan Dershowitz, who's a Democrat. He is a Democrat, by the way. Alan Dershowitz also called the hush money trial a sham. He called the recently overturned Letitia Big Shane James Judge Gargamel trial a sham. He also stated that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade committed perjury, which is a felony, misallocated federal grant money, and expended forfeiture funds, as well as God knows a litany of other prosecutorial misconduct and nefarious acts. And so, remember, back then we were all saying not only should Fani Willis be disqualified, she should be disbarred and face some kind of charges, some kind of prosecution. Well, she barely, well, actually nothing happened to her. I was going to say she barely got a slap on the wrist. She didn't even get a slap on the wrist. McAfee essentially said, look, you're fine. We all knew that Nathan Wade was going to drop out. I mean, Nathan Wade dropped out like 5 seconds later, almost like it was pre-rehearsed. He put out that statement, if you remember. It was almost like it was totally a part of the plan, like they were all in cahoots. She didn't even get a slap on the wrist. Not only was she not disqualified, not only did she not face charges, not only was she not disbarred, she was actually allowed to pursue the case. If you can believe that. It's a total miscarriage of justice. And the real victims are the people, the hardworking taxpayers of Fulton County. So, having said that, I want to also share this. Here is an interview that I'm going to share this. This is an interview that Jim Jordan responding to Fani Willis and responding to Nathan Wade's opening statement that we just saw. I want to now also share this. You're going to love this. Jim Jordan. Who's ready for Jim Jordan? Give me a huge yeah in the comments if you're ready for Jim Jordan. Wait till you see this. I think this is so cool. So here's Jim Jordan talking to Greta Van Susteren, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
His withdrawal allowed Willis to stay on the case, and today closed to the press is addressed to Wade. It reads was any confidential information related to ongoing criminal matters in which you worked while you were.
Let me know if you can hear the audio.
District attorney, including information that is protected from disclosure by grand jury secrecy rules or
I just want to fast forward a little bit.
You obtained us to Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. That letter reads in part, quote, I'm concerned that your demand for Mr. Wade's testimony would force him to improperly divulge confidential information that is protected by privileges held by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and demands that Mr. Wade violate the State Bar of Georgia rules that govern conduct of attorneys. In addition, questions about the substance of Mr. Wade's work in the case would implicate information that is protected by the deliberative process privilege, attorney-client privilege, excuse me, and work product privilege, among others, end quote. Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan joins me. Good evening, sir.
Good to be with you, Greta. Thanks for having me.
Why did you want to speak to him?
Because he's part of this lawfare operation in Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County going after President Trump, much like Alvin Bragg did in New York. And we spoke with people in the Alvin Bragg, Mr. Pomerantz. We spoke with him. We had to subpoena him, and the judge ruled. They took it to court, and the judge ruled in our favor, and he came and testified. We want to know what's going on because, again, remember, from the Fulton County, the disqualification procedures or proceedings in Fulton County, we learned that Nathan Wade had billed for multiple hours meeting with the January 6th committee, billed for multiple hours meeting with the White House, billed an 8-hour Zoom call with other jurisdictions involved in the investigation that they're undertaking down there in Fulton County. So that's stuff that there's no privilege there. We want to know, okay, you billed for this. Who did you meet? What did you talk to him about? Who were the key people? How long? How many meetings? Where did they take place? Those are the kind of things that we would like to ask. Now, I can't say whether we asked those or not. Those are just the kind of things we know from the Fulton County disqualification proceedings that we'd like to get information on when you think about this chart. Remember, Greta, you know this as a lawyer. Prosecutors are supposed to safeguard the public and go after people who've done something wrong. Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, both campaigned on going after their political opposition. Both campaigned on going after President Trump. That's not supposed to be how it's done.
Okay, so this is done behind closed doors today. It was a deposition. As I understand the rules, tell me if I'm wrong, is that it's secret until a transcript is released. Those are the rules in Congress. So at some point, we'll see what was asked and how he answered, right?
Exactly. And my goal is to get that out as quickly as possible. I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it by next week. But we have to, work with a minority, the Democrats on the committee. We have to work with House counsel. And of course, we have to work with Nathan Wade and his counsel, give them a chance to review it. But my goal is to get that out as soon as possible so that people can see what we asked and how he responded. But again, we'll do that as quickly as we can.
All right. He was originally subpoenaed, and then these two letters written by Fani Willis. One is a very formal letter to him, telling him that asserting a privilege, and the other was to you, saying that she didn't want him to testify. How is it then that he happened to testify? If he has a subpoena, and he's got these two letters where she says no.
Well, again, I can't get into what was done in the actual deposition, but I will tell you from experience with Mr. Pomerantz, we had a similar situation. Mr. Pomerantz came in and he answered every question that he felt he could answer. Now, we pressed him on different things. We felt he didn't really give us things that he could have, but we're not trying to get at grand jury privilege material, any other privilege that exists. But there's a whole host of things that we already know, as I said, from previous proceedings that he should be able to tell us about. And again, we'll make that information available when we release the transcript. And as I said, I hope to do that as early as next week.
Is he coming back? Did you resubpoena him, or are you finished with Mr. Wade now?
Again, we'll talk about what may be next in this investigation and all the work that we've been doing this entire Congress on what we believe is the weaponization and the lawfare of going after your political opponents. But we'll talk with our staff and our key lawyers and our chief counsel, and frankly, probably House counsel as well, to see what, if any, steps we take next.
Is the end product here a report from your committee? Because, we're running into election, and the end of the year, we have a new Congress. I mean, what can we expect is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's typically how we've done a number of, dozens of reports we've released this year, whether it's been on immigration, whether it's been on the whole censorship operation, or whether it's been on this lawfare activity. Whether it's been on the federal agencies that have been turned against we the people, weaponized against we the people. So yeah, that's typically how we do it, and we're working on that as we speak.
Have you learned anything new that you didn't suspect? Just looking back on this whole investigation you've been doing.
Well, we've learned that this is frightening what the left is up to. I mean, whether it's turning agencies against their political opponents, whether it's using the federal government, working with big tech to censor your political opponents. I just gave a speech earlier today, and I said to the audience on the censorship issue, did you ever think you would see Donald Trump, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard on the same team? They're on the same team because the left is now the party of censorship. They're trying to restrict our First Amendment liberties. And so I like to think in fact, I called RFK Jr. up a few weeks ago when he endorsed President Trump. And we talked about this because I had him in as a witness. And Greta, I will tell you this, when I had him in as a witness a year ago, we took some heat for that. They're like, what is Jordan inviting a Democrat running for president on what's he inviting him as a witness? But I invited him in, as well as Tulsi Gabbard, Matt Taibbi, Michael Schellenberger, all these former Democrats invited him in because they care about free speech rights. And they came in and did a great job. And by the way, RFK Jr. said something in that hearing that stuck with me. And he said it when he endorsed President Trump. He said, when you look at history, it is never the good guys who are for censorship. It is always the bad guys. So we've done a number of reports on that subject and a host of others. that we'd like to think has made a difference in how this new coalition is coming together in support of protecting our liberties. And of course, President Trump is leading the charge.
Well, I suppose it's beating a dead horse, but you still never got the audio tape of when you got the transcript of when President Biden spoke to his ghostwriter and to special counsel. I suppose now it's being dead horse, but in terms of censorship, and that was the Attorney General of the United States standing in the way of that one.
We held him in contempt, but great point. And again, we'll probably get that when President Trump wins and we get an Attorney General who's going to do the right thing.
Chairman Jim Jordan, thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, so we hear from that was the head of the Judiciary Committee. That was Jim Jordan, who was talking about. So he was in the private, closed door deposition with Nathan American Pie Wade and Fani Willis, and there's going to be a lot more that comes out on this. I can almost guarantee. So I'm seeing some people in the comments say this too, and look. A lot of people are saying, so what's going to come of this? You know, Jim Jordan makes a big fuss. The Judiciary Committee makes a big fuss. Nothing ever comes of this stuff. But here's the deal. Putting attention on people who are bad for our republic, people who are anti-American, people who break the law, people who do not follow the Constitution is always a good thing. Bringing attention and, sharing the truth with the American public is always a good thing. These have major impacts that might not be so outwardly, physical or result in actions that are tangible, but they do result in public opinion. People taking a closer eye. People saying, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? These guys are making a big fuss about this. Why is Nez talking a lot about this? Professor Nez is talking a lot about this stuff. It's bringing attention to the fact that, look, we have to combat what the mega billion-dollar machine of the fake Marxist, fake media news puts out every single day. I am convinced 100%. It'd be really, really hard to convince me otherwise, but I'm open to all comments and thoughts. I am convinced the only reason anybody is voting against Trump is because of the propagandist machine known as the fake media. They have time and time again. I mean, it's so funny. I just did a video yesterday on what they did, CBS, the CBS scandal, not just 60 Minutes, but what they literally did just yesterday on Speaker Mike Johnson editing his footage. This is a war. This is a war of information and intelligence. And sadly, the deep state run by this corporate state media and perpetuated by misinformation after misinformation, lies after lies, edited contextual relays of reports, news, etc., is the ultimate obstacle to our civil liberties and to us getting a country that makes sense again. It is so unbelievably, it's the biggest scandal of all time. To me, it's the biggest scandal of all time. Now, I know there were things that happened during the William Randolph Hearst era and the yellow media, yellow press, in the previous century, and God knows even before that. But, the whole term, the whole definition of progress is supposed to mean better than what came before. That is progress. More honest, more advanced, more fair, more justified, more fine-tuned, more streamlined, more augmented to actually align with the values and principles of the laws of the land, of the Constitution. I am convinced 100% the only reason Kamala even has a chance, which is just absolutely nuts to me, is because of this absolutely dominant, huge propagandist machine, well-funded, billions and billions of dollars funded, woke, fake, mafia media machine. I'm 100% convinced. TDS is a direct consequence of that. Trump derangement syndrome is a direct byproduct of that. And there's a lot of people who are waking up, which is beautiful, because of people like Elon Musk, because of our beautiful laws and because of the Constitution, and because of the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech, that Congress shall not ever pass a law to abridge the right of the people to freely express themselves. Because of that, we still have hope in our country. But I'm telling you right now, if this cackler wins, I don't like to be a defeatist. I'm an optimist by nature. I always look at the positive side. I never thought these words would ever come out of my mouth. But I have to tell you, my fellow Americans, I'd be lying if I didn't say, if the cackler wins, we're going to see. I showed you a graph of what Trudeau has done to Canada. I posted that on my community tab. If you saw that, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you saw that graph of what his policies have done and how they have literally catastrophically altered the landscape of the citizenry of Canada and the types of people that we have, that they have, primarily residing there and actually enacting laws there. I think we're going to see something similar, and it's not good, my fellow Americans. It's not good. Nez, why do you always talk so much about Fani, and why do you always talk so much about, why don't you stick to, what's going on in the election? No. All of this is relative. I mean, I don't want to sound like some sort of justice warrior, but, I came from this world. I know this world. I know these people. It is literally academia. This is what's happening in our higher institutions. It starts there. This kind of mentality, this kind of thinking, this BS, DEI, woke ideologies, they all spawned on university campus grounds. And now they're harvesting these ideas in the actual public and private sector, in the actual real world. It's a catastrophe, you guys. This is why I say DEI is the worst contagion that has ever afflicted society. Not just American society, not just our United States of America, the world. We're seeing evidence of this overseas. We're seeing evidence of this in Europe. It's happening everywhere. So I feel absolutely driven and incentivized to do everything in my power for my kids, for my grandkids, to expose these guys and share the truth, because we need everybody that we can get. We need everybody that we can get. And that includes you, because we're up against a mighty, mighty Goliath. I mean, I don't even know if we can call ourselves David. You compare independent media organizations like myself to the Goliath of the state-run media, CBS, ABC, CNN, the DNC-funded woke media. It is a Goliath of a Goliath. It is Goliath 10X versus David. It's a whole new level of Goliath. And when I say I enlist you to help us, well, Nez, how can we help? That's why I don't say, I don't say tap that thumbs up for me, my fellow Americans. I don't give a rat's ass about me. I'm doing all of this for my kids and my grandkids and for the country that gave me everything. I owe it to my country. I owe it to my kids. I owe it to my neighbors, friends, family, and fellow citizens. I feel that in my heart. And so when I say tap that thumbs up, it's not for me. I understand how the algorithm works. When you tap the thumbs up, it sends a signal to the algorithm. It's literally, you're helping the hands of truth push out these videos to more people. The more people who are educated, the better informed they are. And when they're better informed, they make informed decisions. And when they make informed decisions, especially at the ballot box, that helps you, that helps me, that helps our entire society. And it honors our forefathers. If the cackler gets in there, our forefathers will turn in their graves, literally. It'll be the end of our republic. I hate to sound so alarmist, and maybe some of you guys might label me a pessimist. I truly believe that with every fiber of my being. We cannot allow that to happen. Cannot happen. Shan't happen. Will not happen. And you guys need to help. Nez, how can we help? By doing free things like tapping the thumbs up, sharing the video, watching the entire video, and leaving comments. Because we're up against a mighty, mighty, malicious Goliath in the woke fake mafia media. It is a huge multi-billion dollar funded criminal enterprise. If you don't know what video I'm talking about from yesterday, holy mackerel. Oh, and by the way, here's more proof. I want to share this with you. Here's even more proof right here. So do you guys remember this? I don't know if you guys remember this, but during the debate, I want to share this with you. Let me give you a little bit of context first, but this is another you got to check this out. This is absolutely insane. Here's more proof, okay? This is more proof that the awful fake woke media. So the FBI just recently released they revised their crime statistics. If you can look right now on the screen, on the left-hand side of your screen, the FBI just released a revised criminal statistics showing that crime increased by 4.5% in 2022 instead of dropping. So if you remember the debate on ABC, the one and only debate between Trump and Kamala, listen to David Muir fact-check Trump in front of hundreds of millions of Americans. Listen to this. And then I want you to see, okay? Then I want you to see the statistic. Listen.
Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse
President
me,
Harris,
the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President.
I mean, we he's right about everything. He's literally been right about everything. And if you look at this graph, you can see that it went up. Revised FBI crime data reveals that it originally missed almost 1,700 murders. Oops, we missed 1,700 murders. Given that almost all murders are reported, how does the FBI miss this many murders? I mean, that's a good question. It's amazing to me. Trump has literally been right about everything. They have poured liquid hot magma all over this guy, and he keeps fighting. They have thrown sham indictment after sham indictment all over this guy, and he keeps fighting. They've tried to bankrupt him time and time again, and he keeps fighting. They besmirch him, smear his name, his credibility. They try to imprison him, and he keeps fighting. They try to assassinate him, and he keeps fighting. This guy took a bullet for us. And you're going to tell me that cackling, phony, lion-ass dog DEI hire Kamala is the right choice? She cares about our country? Get the boop out of here. No, seriously, get the boop out of here. There's no way in a billion years you can convince me. Screw you, Steph Curry. Screw you, LeBron James. Screw you, Julia Roberts. Screw you, Bruce Springsteen. And F you, Robert De Niro. You guys are all billionaires who are so out of touch with reality, out of your depth. You're going to support a phony, lion-ass dog who didn't earn a single vote, didn't win a single primary, executed a coup on a sitting president, was a DEI hire, destroyed California, destroyed the border, let in 18 plus million people into our country, and you're telling me that this guy's the threat to democracy? Get the hell out of here, man. Not even close. Not even close. So, yeah, I really would love to hear your thoughts on that. We're up against a lot. So to say that we're up against a lot is probably an understatement. But we are up against a huge, mighty force that needs to be stopped ASAP. They want to take over our institutions. They want to implement, DEI woke ideologies and further them in really dramatic, radical fashions. They want men and women's sports. They want boys in our daughters' bathrooms legally. It's absolutely atrocious. These people that support this should be so ashamed of themselves. And I keep saying this whenever I get these crazy responses on X. I always say, why don't you move to a country you actually support? Because it's abundantly clear you don't support the United States of America. If you believe in this garbage, there's no way you can tell me you love our country. I know you have TDS, but on top of TDS, it's really, really evident you hate America. I've said this many, many times. Every single time I hear Kamala talk, I'm not inspired by her. I feel embarrassment much outweighs my pride of country. The exact opposite. When Trump speaks, gives a town hall, press conference, especially when he does a rally, I feel like the American flag has been tattooed on my chest. I feel so much pride, so much love of country, so much community, so much shared experience, shared feeling and love for our glorious republic. Nothing else compares. Nothing else compares. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. I'd love to see what you guys think of the Nathan Wade deposition opening statement. What do you think Jim Jordan said and everything else? I want to give some shout outs to some people. JB, so awesome to see you. My man, Jim Barron. We got the best mods in the business. JB, it's so awesome to see you. I love you, brother. With a gifted membership. I know you probably gave away more than one. I'm going to get to all of them. But everybody should give a huge shout out and a huge round of applause to Jim Barron because he does so much for our channel and he is absolutely phenomenal, working tirelessly day and night to help us get our country back. I absolutely love you, JB. You're terrific. And thank you for everything that you're doing, man. Gloria Van Ravensway. It's great to see you, Gloria. Welcome. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. You rock, Gloria. It's great to see you. Thank you. Welcome. JB, another gifted membership. Why am I not surprised? JB, you're the man, the myth, the legend. You're not a legend. You're the legend. That's different. That's a lot more special than just being a legend. Bernie Cifoletti. Hey, Bernie. Bravo. Prego. How you doing, brother? Bernie says, it looks like Letitia James's house of cards is crumbling like Fannie Cash Money G's. You know, it's so beautiful to see, isn't it, Bernie? First of all, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Isn't it beautiful to see when karma rears its beautiful head? Isn't it great to see justice finally say, you know what? I've had enough of this crap. It's time to do the right thing. It's a beautiful thing, especially when it relates to our country, which affects hundreds of millions of people. Thank you, Bernie. You rock. JB, there he is. Jim Barron, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, JB. God bless you, sir. You are doing God's work. Don't ever, ever deny this and don't ever overlook this. You are doing God's work. God bless you, sir. You are amazing. Wow! MG, holy macadamia nut. MG just gifted 10 new Professor Nez memberships. I'm blown away, MG. You are terrific. MG, Fantastic. So I haven't said this yet. Let me say this. This goes for all new members and maybe some of you guys who just recently became members and you're not aware of this. So not only do you support the greatest channel trying to get our country back by sharing the unvarnished truth, everything that the fake woke mafia media won't share with you. That's one thing. That's just one thing. But there's so much more. You get a badge next to your name. You get special live shout outs, special boosted engagement, top priority responses in the comments, exclusive content, exclusive information, news, first to know when new videos come out. You also get access to our members only Discord, which I'll talk about right now in just a second. And you also get automatically registered into our live stream giveaways, which are for members only. Now, I did a couple that were random that were for everybody, but 99.99%, I've given away thousands of dollars in Amazon gift cards, hats, buttons, merch, mugs, you name it. And so you automatically get registered. We have such a blast. You ask JB, you ask Bernie, you ask MG. We have such a blast in our live stream giveaways because I've always kind of secretly, a little teeny weeny bit of part of me has always wanted to be a game show host. And so this is like a childhood dream being fulfilled. And I give away a lot of cool prizes. So a lot of benefits to becoming a member. You might want to think about joining right now. MG, God bless you, girl. Now, if you want to find out where do I go to access the, everything else is automatic. The one thing that you actually got to go click on and get invited to is access to our members only Discord. And this is a thriving, engaging, enthralling, collaborative group of individuals, like-minded people. There is a community tab post in our community tab on YouTube. And it's a post just for members. When you go to that community tab post, you will see a link that is an invite link to the actual Discord for members only. You click on that. Again, only members can see it. So once you become a member, go to the community tab, or you can hook up with Jim Barron and Laura Tilford if she's here. I don't know if Laura's here, and they will send you the link directly. But welcome all new members. Congratulations. Welcome to the greatest channel on planet Earth, whose mission is to share the truth about our country and beyond and get our country back to sanity. Just to practical common sense. That's all we want. We just want the country we grew up in, for crying out loud. Is that too much to ask? There's only one choice on November 5th. For the love of God, please make the right choice. Goddess of Truth, thank you so much. It's good to see you. $10 super chat. God bless you, Goddess of Truth. Professor Nez, what happens if Trump wins and the election is challenged and the demon rats refuse to certify and refuse to transfer power? They won't. Who cares? They can protest and do all sorts of crap that they want. Eventually, they're going to look like a bunch of morons, and it's going to be so bad for the country, and they're going to get so many complaints, and so their own constituents are going to be like, enough is enough. You guys look terrible. You look just as bad as supposedly January 6th, which I've got a lot of problems with January 6th now that I've learned a lot. I know you have too. I've done a lot of digging and research. It's not going to happen. Nothing to worry about. It's going to happen. They can protest and act like whiny little babies all they want. He wins. It's on like Donkey Kong. Thank you so much, Goddess of Truth. Hey, Joe Ruiz, great to see you. Vote early. Yes, vote yesterday. Vote 10 days ago. Vote, vote, vote. Do not wait until November 5th. It has to be impossible to rig. It cannot just be too big to rig. It needs to be impossible to rig. Vote as early as possible. For the love of God, vote now. Thank you so much, Joe. Peter Ortiz, look at that. 10. Holy mackerel. Peter Ortiz, you're amazing. There's another legend in the comments. Peter Ortiz, I absolutely love you, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. Peter Ortiz just gifted 10 Professor Nez memberships. Peter, you're phenomenal. You're amazing. You and JB and Mountain Goddess just make my heart sing. You're phenomenal. Thank you so much, Peter. A legend. You are a legend on this channel. I don't even know what to say about Peter. Peter's just the best. Everybody give Peter a kiss in the comments. Tell him how much you love him, because I love him to death. I know you love him to death. He's so passionate about the Constitution. He's so passionate about our country. He's so passionately against all these frauds and lying-ass dogs. Peter, I'm so happy you're here. Love you, brother, and welcome. Welcome. It's so great to have you, brother. Hey, welcome, Mystique Fadia. Mystique Fadia is a brand new member. Hopefully you were paying attention to all the amenities besides just being a member of our Discord, but you also get so many other amenities. So I hope you heard all that, and I hope you'll join us. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being a member. You rock. All right, let's see. Is there any other items that I was going to talk about really quickly? So if you just happen to be joining us, make sure you hit rewind, because we've been talking about Nathan Wade's deposition and his opening statement, and we heard response from Steve Sadow, the Pitbull, other attorneys and legal experts, as well as Jim Jordan, who is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee that called in and subpoenaed Nathan Wade, and I believe has subpoenaed Fani Willis, but I don't know if Fani Willis will honor that. She doesn't honor anything. She doesn't honor anything, let alone her own job, let alone anything else. I can't see her ever going in front of a Judiciary Committee, but maybe she will. I don't know. She supposedly says she's for the people. She supposedly is a champion of transparency, but we don't get any transparency from Fani Willis or any of them. So stay tuned. You know, your boy Nez is always going to keep you informed. If you haven't already, sign up for our free newsletter. You got to sign up for our free newsletter. If it's not in the pinned comment, it's in the show notes description of this video. It's free. All you got to do is click on that link, click on free newsletter, give us your best email. Bada boom, bada bing, you're in. It's like spaghetti with clam sauce. What am I, a schlemiel? You got to become a member. It's just like it's your guarantee. It's your guarantee way. Sign up for the free newsletter. It is your guarantee of never missing out on all the latest and greatest that the fake woke mafia media won't share with you. Also, please, if you haven't already, please tap the thumbs up. It's free. It takes you less than a second. Do it right now. If you love America and you want to see America get back to a place where it actually makes sense again, please make sure you tap that thumbs up, because it's a great way for our videos to get pushed out to more people. And the more people that are informed, the better decisions they make. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, may God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.